On this episode of Ghost Hunters International, the team takes their search for the paranormal to the Czech Republic and one of the most feared places on Earth.
I totally just heard something behind me.
What?
Like wheezing.
You don't come to me, I come to you.
I thought I just seen a shadow pass.
What is going on, dude?
As GHI release the Hounds of Hell at Castle Huska.
How was that?
Shh. EMF's gone off mad now.
And Dustin and Ashley are a stone's throw away from terror.
Can you do that? Yo, did you hear that?
It was like something completely slid across the floor.
Can GHI survive a brush with the devil?
Are we standing at the mouth of the gates of hell?
There's something here.
Almost feels strange driving a car in Prague because everything looks like you're still in the, medieval in some of these parts. Well, I want to welcome everyone to the Czech Republic. Brandy has informed me that we have a big case here. She's going to fill us in on the details.
Hey guys, we're actually headed out of Prague to what many believe is the gate to hell. It's believed that Castle Huska was built to keep evil in rather than people out. The claims of activity here involve shadows, scratching sounds, apparently a full-bodied apparition of a man. Now, during the late 1930s, it's believed that the Nazis actually took over the castle and performed numerous experiments involving dimensional portal stimulation, other really weird physics testing.
If we're going to go big, let's go real big. Let's go gates to hell big.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking that that's it.
It really is out here in the middle of nowhere.
Ty.
How we doing?
Good. Rob, how are you?
Welcome to Castle Huska.
Hey, man, Dustin, nice to meet you.
Dustin.
Nice to meet you. Barry.
Barry, Ty McGee, pleasure. I hope that GHI brings back to me evidence of paranormal activity. If it ties into some of the legends and even the history, I think it will be exceptional.
We're definitely really excited to be here. Can you start by telling us some history about this location?
Sure, absolutely. The castle was founded in the 13th century, but there's evidence dating back to the 800s, even Celtic civilization, pre-millennium. There's no other castle really in the world that's Huska's duplicate. It's a cube within a cube within a cube. There are no fortifications. There are no trade paths, thick woods, swamps, rocks. There is no water. There's no defense mechanism. There's no strategic importance. There is no reason for this structure to exist way out here in the middle of nowhere. This is the inner courtyard, gentlemen, where many horrific events have taken place. We have archaeological evidence, and we unearthed 3 Nazi soldiers who were executed, most likely, we believe, by their own men. We have a prominent writer who stayed here during the end of the 1800s and reported, much like many of the myths say, that he saw winged black creatures flying around this courtyard where we stand right now.
What are we talking about here? Are we talking big bats or what?
No, what normally one would consider demonic and demons.
When we talk about demonics, we're talking about activity that's generated by something that never lived and walked around like you or I. These are generally negative, nasty, and pretty tough to get rid of.
I have some personal experiences here. I brought my dogs the first time I came in. They went absolutely berserk. They ran into the center, circled it, jumped inside, and then ran right over to what I call the prison. And there's a little air ventilation hole going down to where they would have held prisoners, and began barking and clawing and doing very uncharacteristic behavior for them. Even when I called them, they would come. Something was going on here that was not right and was not normal.
You don't have your dogs with you, do you?
Oh, yeah, I brought them just in case.
We want to put them to use, see
want
if
me to
there's
let 'em
anything. Yeah, it'd be great. Shall we head on?
All right. All right, gentlemen, this is the chapel. What we're standing on right now, what encompasses this entire building, used to be a hole going so far down that no one knew its depths. One of the legends says that the villagers, they saw a half-human and half-animal-like creatures, as well as the black flying entities. They believe that this is the gate to hell.
So the legend goes that the castle was built on top of the portal in order to keep the evil from escaping hell.
Absolutely. Many bad things have happened here. When this structure began construction, they took all the prisoners from the local prison who were to be executed, they gave them a death pardon. If they would allow themselves to be lowered into the hole and report on their findings, they would be set free. First prisoner went down. After a few seconds, he began screaming bloody murder, was asked to be pulled up. He had white hair, wrinkles, looked like he had aged several decades in several minutes. He then went to the insane asylum and died 2 days later of unknown causes. A few other unusual things have happened. The Masons, a few years ago, were working on the inner courtyard and continually heard voices back here, only to come in and there's no one here. The oldest paintings in Bohemia, probably even Central Europe, are in this chapel. You can see over here, we have a demon with a tail who's in female form, left-handed, pointing an arrow at a human's neck. Now, to be left-handed during this period was a sign of evil. As you look over here, we have St. Michael. He's executing a demon. I've also had a few personal experiences in here. On the second story, I saw a black figure walk over to the middle and it disappeared.
I visited Castle Huska once with my dog, and the dog went crazy. He refused to enter the chapel, and he tagged me out from the castle. It was a very unusual behavior.
All right, shall we head on?
Sure. This is the hunting lodge.
We were in the hunting lodge at night and we heard strange noises, and then the sound of something heavy hitting the floor. We were scared, so we lit a candle. Suddenly, we saw a dark figure walk across the top of the stairs and heard a voice whispering about killing some young girls.
This, gentlemen, is the living room. And when I first visited Hotska, immediately coming down the stairs, a foreign energy was right behind me. I couldn't help, but my heart's pounding, starting to sweat, spine-tingling chills. I literally turned around, and I could feel it just like I can feel you.
This wasn't something you thought was friendly.
No, without question. Here we have the southern side of the third floor. Another personal experience. As I walked into this room with our interpreter and curator, I saw a woman. White dress on, long blonde hair, who just walked by just like normal. I walked into the other room. There was no one there. I saw her. I know it. It was only for a second, but there was a person there.
Has the curator ever seen this woman anywhere else on the grounds or had experiences up in this area?
Yes, he told me the same thing, actually.
I was sitting at a table in the hallway with a drink in my hand, talking to some friends. I put my drink down onto the same table, and suddenly my glass started to move around, and then it lifted up into the air. We were all staring at it, so I grabbed it and put it back down on the table, and then it slid to the middle of the table. None of my friends' glasses moved, and the table was flat on the ground, not slanted. Something exists here.
All right, gentlemen. Now we're in the lower portion of the castle. This has been nicknamed Satan's office. There's an ancient legend. Also, many people here have had personal experiences with a faceless, black-robed priest walking from in front of the chair, up the stairs, disappearing into the next room.
So is the figure that has been seen down here exclusive to this area, not seen in any other part of the castle?
That's exactly right.
Well, we'll make sure that we investigate down here and see what we find.
All right, be careful.
Got it.
All right, gentlemen. That concludes our tour of Castle Hotska.
Well, we're gonna go get the rest of the team, get unpacked, get set up, and get to work.
We'll see you guys in a couple of days.
All right, see you soon.
See ya.
This isn't like a case we've dealt with before. This one has some kind of haunting activities, but there's also so much more. Possible demonology. I mean, we're talking about a gateway to hell, these kind of just strange stories, but I think the team's prepared to deal with it. It's definitely out there. It's nothing we've quite seen before.
That's great, Barry, right there.
Are we gonna be able to solve the mystery? I don't know, but I hope so. All right, Barry.
Okay, camera number 1 and 2, both out in the courtyard, covering both angles. So we're trying to get as much of the open space of the roof as possible.
All right.
Camera number 3 is in the hunting lodge. Cameras 4 and 5 are both in the chapel. This is a regular DVR camera, and this is the low lux. So we're hoping to try and capture some of that shadow that was reported there. Camera number 6 is in the long stretch to the rear of the castle, where the reports of the woman in white is said to walk past.
All right, good stuff. I mean, look, how many opportunities do you get to actually investigate a supposed gate to hell?
Yeah.
So we're gonna make sure we throw everything at that chapel we can. All right, let's get the lights out.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Joe. The chapel. Joe and I were investigating the chapel that was supposedly built over the entrance to hell. Barry has rigged this place. I think it has more things collecting evidence than we may have ever placed in one spot before. And we're about to add a couple more. It's an EVP session. Joe and Rob in the chapel.
So it was the whole floor?
Yeah, pretty much everything was this giant pit going down. Also, they think that this is quite possibly one of the big rooms where the Germans were conducting their experiments when they held this area. But nobody knows what they did in here. Could you tell us what the Germans were doing here?
What did you do at this altar? Was it for sacrifices?
I thought I heard a snippet of something.
What the hell was that?
I heard it.
What did you do at this altar? Was it for sacrifices? Rob and I were investigating the chapel where the gate of hell is supposed to be. What the hell was that?
I heard it.
We heard a bang, and it seemed to come from up top.
This is where the shadow guy is supposed to cross back and forth.
Are you up there? Is it me, or is that light flickering up at top?
Is that eyes playing tricks?
It keeps doing it.
Yeah. One thing that was a bit confusing was that the light that we had set up on the second floor where a shadow had been seen walking back and forth, it seemed as if it was almost flickering like a candle. There shouldn't be anything passing in front of it. If you're here with us and that light's bothering you, why don't you just turn it off? If you have so much power here, why don't you turn everything off? All right, you don't come to me, I come to you. All right, so I'm staring at the light now.
You see it flickering?
It's not flickering. Not in the slightest. And yet, when we ran up there to follow up on it, there was nothing. The light was solid. It's not a candle. It's a brand new light that Barry brought in. Okay. We have a camera set up that can see shadow, can see those changes in light. So when the people go through this, I want them to be very careful and very diligent to make sure that they can figure out exactly what we're seeing. The team and I had a good opportunity tonight. Ty actually left his dog with us. All right, boy. Where's he at? Go get him. Get him. What's in there, Bobo? What's in there? Didn't he was supposed to have jumped into the water? His dog has had some strange and interesting experiences where it just kind of flips out right here in this courtyard. So we wanted to see what would happen, to see if it went to any specific area.
We know that animals are able to pick up things. Their senses are sharper than the humans. This is should a dog react. We have cameras in place that could catch something potentially that the dog is actually seeing.
Where is he, boy? Where is he?
Barry, what happens if you lead him down that stairwell?
It's very, very difficult from our point of view because we don't own the dog. We don't know the dog. We don't know the dog's quirks. And it's very hard for us to try and read in between those lines. However, the dog did lead us back to the jail, and there was a strange reaction toward the bottom of the staircase on the left-hand side of the chamber down in the jail. It was only slight, but it was something that I caught. I'm not quite sure what the dog was picking up on it, but that was the only point in the tour that did act strange. I'm certainly going to follow up in that area and see what is really down there.
All right. That's it. Thank you, Bobo. You're welcome.
Let's go. I wanted to get back in here because the dog did react unusual to something down here.
Okay.
Brandy and I went to the cellar. Initially, we were led to believe, as we were coming into this investigation, it was a nest bed of demons. EVP session, Barry and Brandy. We're led to believe that this place is infested by demons. If this is the case, we ask you to come forward into this darkness. Are we standing at the mouth of the gates of hell? Is this where your kind came up from? Is this why you're still here?
Is that the EMF?
Yeah. We happen to notice that the more that we seem to probe with our questions, the more responses seem to be coming from the low-end EMF. In the center of the pit, there is a silver device. We want you to hit that device.
If you're attempting to communicate with us, you need to try harder. How was that? On my left, knee area, I felt like an extreme cold, not even a draft.
EMF's gone off mad now.
What the hell?
Are we standing at the mouth of the gates of hell?
If you're attempting to communicate with us, you need to try harder. How was that? On my left, knee area, I felt like an extreme cold, not even a draft.
EMF's gone off mad now.
Barry and I went down to the cellar to run a session. At one point in time, I felt an extreme cold spot near my left leg.
Ambient temperature's at 46.
I don't know if it's gotten colder. Oh, hold on.
What?
As I started saying that, I felt like a gush of air. Now, the temperature down there was pretty consistent. It was pretty chilly, but something about this weird breeze that brushed past my leg, it just really made me take notice.
I'm surprised that I find it colder up here. You would expect the heat to rise?
Yeah.
Certainly in a chamber like that, you would definitely see the heat going to the top and the cold falling off to the ground level. So we took it a step further and decided to use my UV flashlight to try and provoke whatever was down there. I know that your kind doesn't like that light. Not that light source, anyhow. That's why you keep the shadow. Would you prefer the light to stay on?
Was that your stomach?
No, I thought that was yours.
Nope. That was not mine.
Brandy.
Yeah.
I just after hearing something move at the top of the stairs. And you know what it sounded like?
What? What?
This is very bizarre.
Yeah.
It sounded like a huge bat.
There's no one out there.
Just, the flap of the wings. It was only whenever I had the UV on. So I switched it off, that's what it sounded like. I began to think maybe it was the door, but the door certainly didn't make a sound of what I had heard. No idea what on earth it was.
I wish I would have heard that.
Damn. Okay, let's get to the top and see if we can get someone else to come down here.
Okay.
So it's going to fall back heavily onto the analysis to see what we find. All right, Ashley, ready for this?
Oh, be careful. Look at that.
Yeah, there's holes right there. All right, just stay away from the middle here.
Okay.
Just keep to the sides.
Yeah, that's a little insane, I have to say.
Yeah, I've been in some crazy attics before, but this one definitely takes the cake. Ashley and I had gone up to the attic. There were no specific claims up there to investigate, but the client told us that this whole place is very active.
EVP session, Ashley and Dustin in the attic. If there's anyone with us in here tonight, can you say something to us?
Give us some sign that you're here. What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah. You see anything?
I can't see a damn thing down there, but I heard something. Whoa, that was really cool.
There's something here.
If you are a demon, if you are a dark spirit. Did you hear something over there again? It sounds something like a little growl.
Oh, growls.
Ashley, you be very careful because this stuff can be really, really tricky. Like, no BS. They can start to lure you in one place and then pop up, in another.
I've had a couple of situations in the past at Lep Castle and also in Latvia where I've been touched or attacked by an unseen force. And at Castle Huska, I was presenting that same kind of situation. And with Ashley being new to the team, I thought that issuing some type of a warning would be appropriate.
I'm still hearing movement down there, but it doesn't mean that something can show up right behind you. So just stay cool, and if you feel anything, let me know. You please make another sound. Tell me what your name is. Tell me what you're doing here. Can you take human form?
you do me a favor? Can you look over there in that corner?
Which corner?
This corner over here, because I swear I keep seeing. Yeah, I swear I saw something. I don't know.
What was it you were seeing over there?
It looked like a figure of like a bust, like a head with shoulders, and then like black.
All I see is a black hole.
Really?
The distance is just too much for this to make.
Being new to GHI, I've never got a chance to investigate places like this. So, I mean, going into an attic in a castle and getting activity like that was definitely overwhelming. And not gonna lie, I'll admit I was extremely freaked out, but at the same time, you know, my adrenaline was pumping and I was wanting more.
Can you move any objects that are in this room? I just saw a shadow move.
You did? My God.
Just off to my right. It was there, and then just moved over. There was a portion where Ashley saw a figure, and shortly after she mentioned that, I happened to look over to the place just to the left of it and saw what I thought was my own shadow at first, except I had no backlight. And sure enough, this thing moved just out of the way. Can you do that? Yo, did you hear that? It was like something completely slid across the floor. Wow. Can you pick up a rock and throw it?
Dustin and I went upstairs to investigate the attic. Dustin decided to pick up a rock and throw it in the direction of where we were hearing the noises coming from.
Can you do that? Yo, did you hear that? It was like something completely slid across the floor. Wow. Whoa, that was cool. Okay. Looks like we got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah.
You ever seen anything like this before?
Never in my life.
I want some visual on this thing. Barry, I got moving objects up here, brother. I'm gonna need you. Go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah, I don't know what you got going on, bro, but Ashley and I have some really good stuff going up in the attic.
I'd really like to get you up here full spectrum because I can't see anything in IR. Okay, Dustin. We'll be right up. Decided to call Barry to see if he could meet me up there with a full spectrum camera. I thought it was very important to try to document something visually. Ashley, do you want to head back down again? Okay. Joe's waiting up for you at Command Central.
Okay.
Ashley swapped out just for safety because the floors up there are very, very spongy, and we didn't want to create an unsafe situation. EVP session, Dustin and Barry in the attic. Mike's been placed on top of one of the rafters. Good call. I thought I just seen a shadow pass to the left. To the left side? Yeah. I just saw the same thing, dude. We had just initially set up, and both of us had seen at the same time a shadow move across to the left. We got bats outside there. It's not bats, it's the birds. All right. Something's disturbing them. So what was the shadow and why are the birds reacting? That's the controller for that. Wireless? Yeah. Barry and I were using the full spectrum camera. He had given me the remote control for it. Very simple, one button. You press the button, you get one picture. Okay, we're led to believe that the spirits of this place like to play games. Cards. Games of sorts. Gonna throw this rock. Throw it back. He threw a stone down there to see if it would reciprocate, and I pressed the button. Barry, I only hit that once. Why is it still going? What? I only hit the button once. It's still going. What? Look, I'm not touching it. The full spectrum camera began to malfunction. It actually started taking its own shots. That shouldn't be. I pressed it once after you threw the rock, and then it's still taking pictures. What is going on, dude? We turned the remote off, and it still continued to take those shots, so I thought it'd be a good time to actually leave the area, let the camera continue to take its shots, and we'd explore on to see what else there was. Have to check this out whenever I go to analysis. Very strange.
EVP session, Rob and Brandy in the south side of the third floor hallway. This room is where Ty sees a woman in a dress walk past him here. So I think the first thing we want to do is just kind of sit back and relax and see if anyone's going to make an appearance. We know we have the camera shooting down towards us, so let's just give it a minute.
I'd like for anyone that stays here to come forward to us right now. Were you here before the Germans came here? Did you bring others with you?
Are you confused about what's going on here? We've been told that there's people who still stay here.
Did you hear that?
No, but I saw something.
Did you? Because I swear that I heard like a sigh or like a... And it came from that area.
I saw something all the way back there. I saw like something, like movement. All right, we got the mic here. You stay here.
All right.
Brandy and myself were investigating the mall where a full-bodied apparition of a woman with blonde hair is said to be seen. At one point, interestingly enough, I saw what appeared to be something towards the end of the hallway near the DVR camera kind of lean out and lean back. I mean, there was something moving down there. What's really strange about it is at the exact same time, Brandon heard what sounded like a sigh or a quiet moan. What blocks it out? Something crossing in front of the light source, but the light source is that street light down there. We had all the equipment running, so now is it going to be a personal experience or is it going to be evidence?
This is Joe and Ashley entering Satan's den. Careful, the steps are kind of crickety.
Oh.
Yeah.
Joe Chen and I went down into the basement area, which is referred to as Satan's office or Satan's den. Is that like a throne or something?
That's Satan's chair.
Oh, no.
It's pretty freaky, isn't it?
It's very disturbing down here. When we got to the very bottom, we found a crazy chair with horns and all kinds of stuff, and immediately I felt like extremely uncomfortable.
Is there anybody down here tonight that would like to communicate? My name is Joe, and this is my friend Ashley. We're not here to harm you. We just want to document that you exist. Could you give us a sign, please? Make some kind of noise. Move something. You can even touch one of us.
Ooh.
I hope I don't break it. What's that?
Did you touch that?
No.
Dude, what the heck is that?
I'm gonna attempt to sit in this chair. Ashley and I started our investigation down in Satan's office. What's that?
Did you touch that?
No.
Dude, what the heck is that?
At one point, we thought we heard the kettle rattle. That was hanging right next to Satan's throne, like if someone bumped it, but neither of us was close to it. Is there anybody down here with us? What was that?
Did you hear that, kid?
I heard that.
Okay. And it's pitch black. I can't see anything. Oh, God.
Could you say it louder?
I thought I just heard it again.
I feel creeped out right now. What's that?
Dude.
That was a voice, wasn't it?
Dude, that was like a moan, that sounded like definitely high-pitched.
Both heard a female voice. We really couldn't tell what it was saying, but it was definitely a female voice, and we both heard it. These walls are pretty thick, and we can't hear anybody from another part of the castle. To the female that's here, we beg you, could you please come forward and communicate what you're feeling? If you were tortured, what's your story?
There's something going on behind me. I totally just heard something behind me.
What?
I swear to God, I just totally just heard something behind me. Like wheezing, swear to God, behind me. I'm not sitting back in that chair. I sat down in Satan's chair. As soon as I sat down, I got this really weird feeling in the back of my neck. I promise you, the This place is really creeping me out. Like, really,
I feel a little lightheaded. Who else is here?
No. It seems quiet now. It doesn't seem as
Heavy.
and dark.
Just for that brief second when you're hearing those noises, it felt kind of strange.
Yeah.
I think we should go back to Command Central.
Okay.
And see what's what.
See if anyone else got anything.
Well, we're leaving, and we thank whoever is here for coming forward.
EVP session end.
All right, everyone, let's get back to Command Central and start getting packed up, get those lights on, and head for home. We came into the castle today, and we learned about some of the strange goings-on, a lot of it kind of negative, dark stuff. And that seems to match with many of the experiences that the team had here this evening. Reports of growls, this kind of an angry, foreboding feeling around a lot of the situations. The question now is, did we pick up and record what's going on at this mysterious castle? And is there going to be enough evidence from that to really answer some of the mysteries that are here?
I was really impressed with Ashley tonight. Being in that situation that we were in up in the attic can be very nerve-wracking, especially for someone new. But Ashley stood right there, and she didn't back off. So I think that is a credit to her as an investigator and as part of this team.
We're about to go into analysis for Castle Huska, the gateway to hell. We set the equipment up to the best of our knowledge to capture this reported demon activity. But it seems that something else may have been coming forward and didn't match the report, so it's going to be interesting for us to find out what is actually trying to make itself known in Castle Huska.
Whoa. Hey, guys. I think I have something here. This is Ashley and Dustin, and you're in the attic, and you're speaking. And you hear, well, I'm not sure. Give it a listen and see if it sounds familiar to you. Okay. And it's going to be at 4846.
Give it a listen, Joe.
What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I definitely heard that.
I remember hearing that, and Dustin and I both actually heard it. And we mentioned it to each other. I'm glad that picked it up.
But there is a reply there. I think it'd be a good one if we brought it through, and it backs up that personal experience. Okay, good catch, Joe. I'm sure the guys would be very impressed to hear that.
Sure, Dustin would like to hear that.
Guys, I just finished with the full spectrum shots. This was in the attic with Dustin and myself after the camera malfunction.
Did you find anything?
There was nothing that showed up.
Right.
But I want you to just have a listen to this. What you will hear is the camera continuing on, taking its shots, even though the remotes were switched off.
All right.
But have a listen.
Oh, yeah.
You can clearly hear that.
I definitely heard that.
You know, mixing a lot of personal experiences in there as well. You had Dustin and you hearing the rap coming back. We've seen the shadows moving across into the left, the birds going mad. There was a lot of things seemed to be going on up there.
Wow. That's a good one.
It certainly is, certainly is. Okay, let's move along and see what else is going to turn up.
Okay. Hey, guys. Ashley, you and Dustin were up in the attic, and Dustin had tossed a rock, and he heard something.
Yeah.
And you were there, and take a listen.
Okay.
Let me know if that's what you heard.
Can you do that? Yo, did you hear that?
Whoa.
Yeah, you can clearly hear that.
That's pretty wicked.
How you doing, Ty?
You made it.
Absolutely. We're all present and accounted for. Coming in, you knew and you told us that there was a lot of mysteries that you wanted some answers for. You said, look, here's what happened to me. Let's see what happened to you guys. Let's see what you can document with the equipment.
Okay.
So one of the things we do encounter during these investigations is personal experiences. And up in the attic, I'm up there with Barry, trying to get some full spectrum pictures of what's going on. We're doing an EVP session, and he and I both happen to be looking down toward the back of the attic. Look over to the left side, and there's a shadow. Looks just like the outline of a human being. And the thing moves across, like almost like it was going out the window. It moved right past it and disappeared. As soon as that happens, all these birds just go flying out, making crazy ruckus. That's not normal behavior.
No, not at night.
But for this thing to be moving around up there and then have that kind of effect on the environment, it's just, it was pretty crazy.
Wow.
At one point, myself, Brandy, in the same room where you saw the woman walk by.
Right.
Now, I see something kind of lean out, lean back, as if something's taking a look. Brandy, I think she hears something at the same time. There was no video of it because it seemed to have leaned out from behind where we had the camera set up. There was no audio of what Brandy heard. So it winds up being a personal experience.
But our personal experiences, that's evidence to me because I know what I saw that day.
But we're not going to come here and say, here's some stories to add to yours. We want to show you something. We want to give you evidence, and we got evidence.
All right.
This is from the attic. You told us check out the attic. It's a pretty cool place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play for you a piece of video about this audio that you're going to be listening for.
Sure.
I was up there with Ashley, and here's what happened when we were there. Here we go. Who brought you here? What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah. Can you give that to me again one more time, please?
Sure, man. I'm going to loop the area.
On instinct immediately, you know what it makes me think of? Kind of a little breathing exhalation.
Yeah. There's this sound like a coming from deep into the attic. Just after this happens, I'm standing there with Ashley, and so someone tried to take a rock, just throw it down there, see if it'll throw it back.
All right, let's see it.
Here we go. Can you do that? Yo, did you hear that?
Wow. Yeah, that's exciting. That's incredible.
Let me tell you, this hardly ever works, okay? I'll tell you, man, I jumped back. My back was against that wall. I've never seen something like that happen. Never had object manipulation on command.
You ever been to the gates to hell before?
First time, man.
Tell you what, all right.
After this, I asked Ashley to step out and to let Barry come in with his camera so we can try to get some photographic evidence of what was going on. While we're there taking pictures, I actually had the remote on this one. I click the button, no problem. And then all of a sudden, it just keeps taking pictures. It literally took almost 100 photos completely by itself.
And what are we expecting? This thing's getting ready for a snapshot. Nothing in the pictures. But we go over the tape, the audio, and they got something.
We're running a 360 mic. We had this up in the rafters toward the end of the attic, where I had heard the noises before. And I'm gonna play for you what came up there. All right, here we go. That's the camera.
You know, it's incredible. I thought I heard poik, which in Czech means come on, word of honor. Almost like a challenge, because it's a man's voice. If two men were fighting here, one would say to the other one, poik, meaning come on.
You've got the camera that is no longer responding to the remote. Now you've got a man's voice saying in Czech, come on, you want to do something, come on.
Well, it doesn't sound like he's afraid of us.
Well, here's the thing. We came in, we wanted to help you out with these mysteries. Is this place a gateway to hell? We don't have an answer. Is it haunted? Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Ty, thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you.
So go.
Best of luck, Ghost Hunters.
Thanks, man.
Now that I've seen the evidence, I think that it confirms my own personal experiences. As far as some of the other phenomenon, I think it's evident that there are spirits still roaming freely here at Castle Hoska.
We got enough evidence for me to feel comfortable and confident to say the place is haunted.
I was kind of glad that he doesn't even like to go in that attic, because that place is a little messed up.
So we can check off the gateway to hell on our list of things to do.
That's it, brother. Just head back out and see what else is out there.
Absolutely.